Hi, and welcome to the Tea on Realty. I'm your host, Rachel Jackson, a broker associate with Exit Real Estate Gallery. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I hope you had a great week since the last show. So we're going to jump right in this week's Tea on Realty. Today we're going to be talking about renting versus buying. As a realtor, my choice will always be buy over rent. I do know that things happen in life that will require someone to have to rent. Notice I said to have to rent versus choose to rent. More people who are actually, can afford to buy, choose to rent, because they're so afraid that something will break and they will have to spend thousands of dollars, to get something fixed, Since I'm here to spill the tea on realty, let me say that their fear is probably it's accurate. Anything that you use on a daily basis will need maintenance at some point. That the car may need some repairs from time to time, and sometimes it will cost over $1,000 to get it running. Did that stop you from getting the car? No, it didn't stop you from getting a car. So why buying a home, is such a gray area and it's such a big hesitant when it's something you need. You need a roof over your head. So with buying a home comes big responsibilities. And one is a really good investment to buy a home. It's a great investment. People don't know, just saying like, oh God. I got to buy a home. I got to fix this. So with that being said, purchasing a home warranty package on an annual basis can help you save on a lot of those costly repairs that we so fear. So are you ready to stop renting? Probably not. For all of you people who like things broken down in number form, you could go to an accountant for that. I'm just kidding. Here are the numbers for you when it comes to buying versus renting. So let's say you want to own a home or you want to rent a home. You're going to pay about $1,500 a month, to rent. That's, in my eyes, that's pretty steep, and that better be a pretty big house if I'm going to rent it. So let's say you're going to buy a home. Typically, the home, when you're paying $1,500 in rent, that really kind of interprets to maybe you could possibly be paying about $1,286 a month for a home that you're going to buy. And that's at approximately about a home that's about $250, at the max about $250,000. You might pay about $1,286 a month for a mortgage, as opposed to you paying that $1,500 a month for rent. Let's talk about the next big figure that people get scared of, down payment. Oh my God, I don't have no money to put nothing down. That's a minute excuse, but there are a lot of programs out here that can help you. Just got to get with the right realtor, get with the right lending company, and it can help you. There are some times where there's programs that can pay all your down payment, and then there's some where you got to pay some. So let's break down some down payments. Let's say your down payment is about, you renting, you paying about $3,500 for your rent. That's including your first, your last month's rent, plus about a $500 deposit, which we know whatever your rent is, that's what your deposit is. So if you renting $1,500, that means your deposit $1,500 and your last month $1,500. Now, some areas in the market, they don't require last month. They only require, like here in the Northeast Florida, it's pretty much first month and deposit. But there are some cities that require first, last, and deposit. So let's say you got to have $3,500 lump sum right now. Small initial payment with refundable deposit. Get deposit back if the landlord and you ain't damaged the place after you left. Might not get that deposit back at the end of the lease. I mean, it be so skimmy and things about sometimes how they try to get over with not getting you that money back, because if you're moving somewhere else, you want that money back. You need that money back. You're not going to get it as soon as you move, But at least a month, by the time a month later, it's time for you to pay rent again in your new home, or hopefully mortgage in your new home, because you get a mortgage out the rent. You don't have your mortgage payment probably ain't gonna do for 45 days. So that gives it plenty of time for that landlord to get you that deposit back, and you can use it toward your first mortgage payment. So let's say we at that $250,000. We on down payment level still. So we're going to flip to, you got that house. The house is about $250,000. About 10% down payment on a $250,000 home. That's about $25,000. Oh, I know you like $25,000. I ain't got no $25,000. I'm saying 10%. There are different type of loans out here. I mean, if you have 10% of your loan, awesome. But if you have mostly FHA, they're 3.5%, conventional, about 5%, and different types of loans that and will require you to pay different percentages. But we're just sticking with, you're going to pay $25,000, right? Okay. That's $25,000 closer to you paying off your loan if you have that 10% down on the $250,000 house. That's less than 10% down payment is possible with some loans. Like I said, you don't have to pay 10%. The goal for me would shoot for you to pay 10%. Doctor said that's going to equity already in your home that you ain't even got to borrow from the lender when you got more money down payment. If you don't have it though, there are things out there that can help you get it. So let's talk about variables when it comes to buying and renting, about fixing things. This is a huge one. When you rent, it can be increased. You're still talking about the money of this issue. Rent can be increased at the end of the lease. I have heard and seen rents go, some landlords go up $25. Some landlords go up $50. I have even seen and heard of a landlord going up $100 at one time. And what was crazy to me was it was in a market that wasn't like, it's kind of like how it is now, where, they probably had a loss, so they're trying to make up. It was in a steady market. There was no reason for a rent in that area of the community, in the area, because you got a good property management company that's going to run the numbers for you. They're going to give you an accurate on what you can get, but you got some of the private landlords and, even some of the ones that's with a company, they're like, oh, I want to just go up $100. And they expect that people can afford that. Like, oh my God, I can see you go up 25, 1 year 50. I expect to go up at least maybe 25 every year. That's what I would be expecting as a renter, to go up $25 a year. Not 50 in 1 year. Get me up to the $50, but not at one time, So that's something you got to do when you're renting. But when you're on the buying side, monthly payments stay the same throughout the loan. They don't go up. Now, I've had customers that come and they're like, oh my God, I got this big payment to go. I don't know. And 9 times out of 10, that payment has to do with the payment and what they put in escrow for the taxes. And when the taxes are assessed differently at the end of the year, that might make their payment seem to be like it's increased. But really, it's not their initial payment. It's the taxes, what they've varied in the taxes that's an escrow for them if they run out of escrow payment on their taxes, because the taxes might have went up substantially that year, with the city or whatever. So then you have the option to move if rent is increased. You have that flexibility. Say, I ain't paying you extra $25. I ain't paying you extra $50. I'm out of here. You have that option as a renter. But then you have to deal with that, trying to find another renting place, trying to do this and trying to do that. But when you're in your house, your home value can go down, but payments are fixed. So like I said before, you're not going to run into a situation where a year from now, your payment is going to be so high that you can't function. Like, oh my God, this is your home. If your mortgage payment is $1,200 a month for the same house that you would pay $1,500 for, I'm going to choose to pay $1,200 if I can afford it, because 9 times out of 10, the qualifications that you go through right now to be a renter, it's even more scrutinized than if you were buying. I mean, like, if you're going to have the person, they're going to run your credit to rent, they're going to run your credit to buy. They're going to verify your employment to rent, they're going to verify your employment to buy. They're going to look at your credit to rent, and they're going to look at your credit to buy. Trust me. So if all those things, if you can match up with all those things as a renter, why wouldn't you want to buy? Why wouldn't you want to buy? You know what I'm saying? So when you out here looking for a place, and this is another issue that comes up a lot with renting versus buying, right? Pets. Everybody loves their pets. But as a renter, guess what? There are limitations on pets. There are some owners that will not allow any pets. They don't want no dog, they don't want no cat, they don't want no chicken, they don't want no bird, they don't want no rooster, they don't want no rabbit. They don't want it. They don't want it. It's a liability, because if that dog get out in the neighborhood and bite somebody or somebody's child or whatever the case may be, ripping up somebody else's property line, digging in and going and ripping up the neighbor's stuff, guess what? That person, 9 times out of 10, that dog, Lord forbid, bite somebody. Guess what they're going to say? Okay, they could sue you as the dog owner. Yes. But then they might go ahead on and sue the owner. Because they're going to say, you allowed this person in this home knowing that they had what they call an aggressive dog. You know, they had that aggressive breed. You know what I'm saying? And then you might not have an aggressive breed of dogs, but you might have one too many dogs. Maybe you have 3 dogs and they're all little cute, you know, Scottish terriers and, you know, little hot dogs and all that. And you got 3 of them. But guess what? That landlord say, oh, you can only have 2 dogs. Or you can have a dog and a cat, but you can't have 3 dogs. You can't have 3 cats. The limit is 2. There's restrictions on that. So we're going to go on over here to the buy side. Guess what? Over here on the buy side, if you stand in a nice community, you know, if it's HOAs, always read the HOA policies before you sign an agreement. That's just another tip when you're doing that. So they might have a restriction on pets in the HOA community. You don't know, but you read to find out. But 9 times out of 10, you can have that dog. But you might have to put it on your homeowner's insurance that you have what they call an aggressive breed dog, a Rottweiler, pit bull, those kind of dogs like that. They call them aggressive breed dogs. You might have to have that on your insurance policy. And some insurance companies might not allow you to have it. Some will, and then you might have to pay extra to have it. But at least you don't have that person that's telling you in your own home that you can't have that dog you love, that dog you raised since it was a puppy. You see what I'm saying? So when you want to rent, think about those things. Think about what's costing you to rent versus what it'll cost you to buy. People get so scared of down payments. Ask about down payment programs that's going to help you out. Because there are programs out here that will help you, that can help you if you qualify for it. It's all about qualification. You got to qualify to rent. You got to qualify to buy. Same difference. They pulling out of the same pool of information about you. So why not get the best bang for your buck if you're going to spend your money? You know what I'm saying? You can rent, like I said, you'll get a car. You're not going to not get that car because guess what? You got to get to work. You want to get around. You want to do leisure activities. So you're going to buy that car, but you won't invest in that house. And guess what? If you got it like that and that car break down and it's not too costly of an older car, but if it's a newer car that you done bought within the last year and it done some kind of way you done blew the engine, you got to pay for a couple $1,000 engine or try to, if you owe money on it, ain't nobody gonna trade it in with that bad engine. You're gonna lose money on it. You know what I'm saying? So guess what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to fix that couple $1,000 in, on that car. So the same with the house. That's why we, on another episode, we're gonna talk about home warranties, how they are, can benefit you when you're scared to buy about these having to fix the air conditioning or something that's going on with the electrical or something that's going on with the plumbing. There are things out here in place. You just have to get with the right professional, a realtor like myself, that's going to educate you on the steps you need to take so you can get over that fear you have of buying a home. Buying a home, like I said, I would always recommend somebody buy, don't rent. If you have to rent because you're working on your credit because of something else happened. And if you're renting, guess another thing. You might have done got evicted a couple of times. I mean, that's bearing on you whether you're going to buy or rent because they want to see if you're going to pay people you live back. That's just how it is. It's all over the place. You can't get around that. But what you can do is if you're going to rent, why not work on that while you're renting? Because you can work on those things while you're renting and get that history. So you know what? When that lease get ready to come, you be like, 3 months, 4 months for your lease up, you contact your realtor. You say, hey, contact the lender first because they don't want to lend you the money. But say, I'm ready to start this process. What do I do? How do I start this process? Guess what? If you want to learn more on how to start that process, they have workshops out here. We have workshops with the T on Realty. Know that we have workshops on different things and variations on how you can learn how to get yourself together to buy that home that you want to buy. Because I know you want to buy it. I want you to buy it. I want to see you happy. I want to see you, tagging people in the photo, talking about this my house, yeah, having your little house gathering. I want all of that for you. That's what I'm here for. That's why it's renting versus buying. Of course, all my podcasts, I got plenty to talk about different things on why you should buy instead of rent. This one was more just giving you some details about the money kind of part of what you're going to be coming out your pocket with and wasting when you rent versus what you're going to be investing in when you buy. You know what I'm saying? So I just always like to give you guys the T on Realty. For that information, renting versus buying, this was just part one of that. It's going to be many more episodes about renting versus buying. If you have, as I always say, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to me on the platform here, Podbeam. I'm on multiple podcast streaming sites, so you can always get a hold and you can always listen. If you forgot something or you want to hear something again, you can always go back, share, like, download, re-listen to the old podcast, all of that good stuff, because I'm going to keep giving you the T on Realty. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to say it. So with that being said, I just want to put out October 30th once again. We're going to be having our live podcast at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guys, get ready to tune in for that. We're going to be having a giveaway with that for the $20 just for coming in to the podcast on October 30th, checking in just to say, hey, you get your name in the box to get a $20 gift card just for checking in during the podcast. And I might even chime you in live so me and you can chat right then and just say hey and give a shout out to you and get that going on. And also we have another giveaway. This is voting time. We want everybody to get out and vote. Get out and vote. Make your voice heard. Get out and vote. We have another giveaway coming out that is not a giveaway to get people for voting. You get $20 for voting. No, you get $20 after you vote. We ain't giving you $20 to go vote. We're giving you $20 to show off that you voted. So if you do that, we having that giveaway coming. That's going to end on November 3rd at midnight, obviously. So what you do, early voting already done started here in Duval County and mostly all over the world. So what you have between now and November the 3rd is once you go vote, after you vote, because you can't take cameras, there's supposed to be video inside of the voting polls. So don't do that and get yourself disqualified. But after you vote, they give you them nice little pins, they give you them nice little stickers that say I voted. What I want you to do, I want you to take a picture of yourself with your sticker on, with your pin that said you voted. I want you to take that picture. I want you to put it up on your Instagram page. I want you to tag at the T on Realty Instagram page and say, hey, I voted. Guess what? And make sure you following us at the T on Realty on Instagram too. So that's another giveaway we're doing. That's a $20 giveaway. So take a picture of yourself after you done voted. After you vote, take a picture, tag at the T on Realty. Make sure you follow at the T on Realty also on Instagram. And you will be in another drawing for another $20. You can be in both drawings. You could be in the one for checking in on October 30th, and you could get your name in the box for the one for November 3rd, just for showing you voted. Vote, people. I want you to vote. It's very important. It doesn't matter who you're voting for. I just want you to vote. Thank you for tuning in today to the T on Realty. I hope you learned something. Reach out to me. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of those things. Email us for any questions, comments, or concerns at info@thetonrealty.org. Visit our website, www.thetonrealty.org. Thank you. Have a great rest of your week. See you October 30th at 11 o'clock for a live broadcast. Vote, people. Vote.